Hello? Oh, hey, Tremaine, what's going on, man?
Faulty, you were supposed to be here an hour ago to help me with this Supreme tent.
Oh, man, I'm so sorry. I completely forgot. I was working on a video.
I'm out here struggling with the elements and this tent, and it's not even a regular tent. It inflates itself. I'm struggling to pitch this tent.
You're pitching a tent? At least that one inflates itself, unlike someone on this call.
Dick jokes, Faulty. Really? This is serious. The wind is starting to pick up. I'm getting a little nervous.
All right, okay, I got it. I'm on my way. Why don't you just get in the tent, help weigh it down a little bit. I'll find some more pegs and we'll get it secure.
That's a great idea, Faulty. I'll wait inside the tent for you.
Okay, great. Hashtag camp hype is about to go viral.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
Why, Faulty, why?
I feel like I'm chosen. I'm covered in gold.
Welcome back, friends, to another edition of Fauntleroy's Finest, and today we're going to take a look at Supreme's Week 15.
No!
The Spring-Summer 24 season is almost complete. We probably only have 3 or 4 weeks left, and they are for sure dropping some heat for us this week. We're getting 3 different types of this woven bag, which I also think is a cool item. And they're dropping some cool accessories this week with that inflatable tent and the Tucan Lamp that some of you have been waiting for all season.
Follow my nose, wherever it goes.
I'm gonna go over everything dropping this week, but first I want to make sure that you guys have the chance to cop anything that your little heart desires as far as streetwear community goes, and you can do that in the Fauntleroy's Finest Discord. We have Larry's streetwear calendar that tells you everything you need to know about what's dropping this week. Manny keeps us up to date on all the best shoes dropping throughout the week. The New Wave Lee has given us the best free Supreme community monitors out there. And of course, our boy Re-Up23 with the ACO channel has been cooking up for everybody out there that can't cop on their own.
I dare you to do better.
And best of all, the price is free. Just click my invite link in the description below and you're in. And obviously, if you enjoy my videos, like them and subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, all that jazz. Alright, enough about that crap. Let's get into this drop. Alright, first up are these Supreme Clark's patent leather. Why did they make these? Somebody needs to be held accountable for these. At least for the green and red colorway choice. Like, only one of Santa's elves could pull off those shoes. I mean, good lord.
I'm a cotton-headed ninny muggins.
Next up, the overprint striped short sleeve top. It kind of has the vibe of one of those old Guess shirts with the stripes on them. I think these are cool. They'll probably make nice personals, but that's about it. Next up, we have the bleached chino boonie. I'm not really a fan of these at all. I think they're ugly, and I don't really like boonies. So that's me. I'm just gonna keep going. Next up, the plaid knit short sleeve polo. I'm just gonna say it. They're fucking knocking polos out of the park. Maybe I'm channeling my inner grandpa here, but I think these are pretty good polos. That black one is kind of calling my name for some reason. I don't know. These polos are just making me hot here. Woo! 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 Obviously, I think these are personals, but, you know, I kind of like them. Next up, the printed paisley sweater. This one's just a no for me. Just a no. Just a no. Like, oh. This is what my sweater looks like if I go out to the club, a lot of drinking, 3 in the morning, in the back seat of an Uber. That's what it looks like to me. Next up, we have this woven tote bag. I really am gonna say that the $158 price point seems a little bit taxed for this. Generally, Supreme tote bags don't really flip that well, but they can if they're good ones. I think the blue and black ones just look better than the white one in my opinion. But with that price point, I would be a little hesitant to tell you guys to pick these up for reselling or anything like that, so I would say stick to personals for these and keep going. Next up, the overdyed small box sweatshort. In general, I would say these are just personals, probably just a pass. But those tie-dye ones could have some potential. But buying shorts at all for resale is risky, but if you were going to, the tie-dye ones would be decent because they just don't do tie-dyes very often. So it could make all those tie-dye items more desirable. But $118 for sweatshorts is still pretty high. But I don't have a lot of faith in the shorts. I do expect them to sell out in the tie-dye colorway though. So if you want them, you better grab them quick.
I feel the need for speed. Ow!
Next up, we're getting the big script mesh short. They look like some kind of shorts that a kickboxer would wear. You can just Muay Thai the hell out of somebody with your shins in these. I think they're okay, and they did kind of give you a Knicks colorway there with the blue and orange, and since they all say New York on them, that might be the sleeper pick of this group. I still think 110 for some mesh shorts is still a high price point, and I don't really see a ton of room in the resale market to justify just grabbing these to buy. If you did have to gamble on these, I guess biggest sizes, I'd say black is probably the safest one, and I could see the blue and orange one being a sleeper like I said before. But I will stick to my general advice on shorts saying it's a risky pickup for resale. Next up, the woven shoulder bag. I actually think these are a pretty decent pickup. $78 price point isn't bad. I don't know exactly how big these are. It says that they're 2 liters, so I think it's just a little bit smaller than a normal one, so maybe 78 is a little taxi on these as well. And like I said before, I like the blue and black colorways best. I would say that those colorways are pretty safe as far as reselling goes. I'd like this price point to be closer to probably 58, and I could easily see the good colorways going for 110, 150, assuming that they just didn't make 8 billion of them. I'll say this, these are unique bags. I haven't really seen any like this before, and we probably won't see very many like this again. I do expect these to sell out pretty quickly, so if you want them, I would be grabbing them right away.
Who are you?
Next up, the over-dyed small box zip-up hooded sweatshirt. The same thing as the shorts. I think that the tie-dye colorway of this item will sell out, and I think that there could be some potential for resale in it in the future. These hoodies are at the low price point for Supreme at $158, and I could see a world where that tie-dye colorway pushes to close to $200, maybe a little bit more. Again, it all depends on how quickly it can sell out, but definitely bigger sizes, XL, XXL, should sell out quickly, and those should have a little bit of return for you if you wanted to gamble on it. Just remember though, it's just a small box logo zip-up, so it's nothing special other than it having that tie-dye colorway, which is something Supreme doesn't do that often, and that's the only reason it would be worth taking a gamble on. Next up, we have the Difference 6-panel. Now boys, I'm really digging that camo colorway in this one, and I believe there's a few pieces that we've had in the past that match that orange colorway as well. I think that that black colorway and the traditional camo colorway would be the way to go if you were buying them for reselling, but all those colorways could make good personals if you have a good fit for it.
That is so fetch.
Next up, I think this one's the cap of the week, the Denim Camp Cap, and specifically the Train Conductor colorway. Those denim spell-out caps usually do really well from Supreme. I'm not really sure who's wearing them. I never see them out in the wild, but they always seem to get up to about $100 in resale at least. The lighter colorway here is interesting too. I don't remember seeing too many denim camp caps in that colorway. It's a really nice blue. And then the black one is safe and also should do well in the future. It's just a nice black box logo in denim. Can't go wrong. And being the same price as the last hat, I would be adding this one to the cart instead of that one if you're only adding one hat. And absolutely, that Train Conductor Supreme spell out colorway is the one to go after. I have a lot of faith in those type of hats. Next up, my item of the week, the Denim Painter Pant. I think that the denim spell out colorway is going to do a lot of numbers. I would expect these to be easily in the 200s and settle somewhere around the 250 mark. They're going to be very hard to get. This is an item that I would be using a slot for if I had to have it. I don't think the size will matter too terribly much in these. Usually the really big ones are the ones that do the best and are the hardest to get, but you should be okay any size here. But again, everything here is risky. That said though, I feel pretty confident in that spell out colorway to do really, really well. We've been waiting for these pants all year. They're finally here, so make sure you go out there and grab them.
Toot toot, toot toot, toot toot, toot toot, toot toot, toot toot.
Next up, the woven utility bag. Now this is a really weird bag. The price point on this bag is $48. It's a little bit bigger than the shoulder bag. The shoulder bag says it's 2 liters. This bag says 3 liters. So I'm going to change my opinion of the bags you should be going for, and I'm going to say go for this bag over the other one, mainly because the price point is lower and the storage is bigger. Same thing though, I expect these to sell out pretty quickly. So if you want these, I would grab them as soon as you possibly can. I think that this bag has the same sort of resale potential as the other one, and this having a much lower price point makes it the better choice to grab if you're a reseller. And I would say the same thing for the personal. This is a bigger bag. Unless you really need that shoulder strap, I'd be getting this one too. Good luck to you guys if you are trying to grab them this week. Alright, next up, Supreme Post-it Notes. You've been asking, they finally delivered. We've got Post-it Notes. And in the Supreme style, they half-assed the Post-it Notes. You only get the little ones, and they're $14 a pack. That's right, Post-it Notes for $14. This is one of those cheap accessories that should probably stick around till the end of the year. That seems extremely expensive for Post-it Notes, though. I think they're usually like $1 to $2 a pack. This one's 14 bucks. That's some 7x tax right there. I think I've already talked much longer than I needed to about Post-it Notes, so let's keep going.
I paid my taxes over a year ago.
Next up, the Supreme Heim Planet Cave XL tent. Now, I was like, why is this tent so expensive? What's special about this tent? It's an inflatable tent. It inflates in under 30 seconds. You don't have to put up any posts. There's no connecting anything together. You just plug it in, it blows up, and there you go. The one thing I will say about this tent is that I have seen some interesting situations when people get involved in high winds. Apparently, an air tent does not hold up to that as well as, say, a metal framed tent. And it's very expensive for what it is. $1,500 for a two-person tent is pretty out of bounds. Price point aside, it's a super cool tent, looks awesome, huge flex, and I do expect them to be very rare. And I'll go out on a limb here and say they probably will sell out. It might take a little bit of time, but I do imagine they will go eventually. For sure, if you pick one of these up, let us know in the Discord. Definitely show us your flex there. Everybody will go, "What in the hell did you pay that much for a tent for?"
You're a moron!
Okay.
Next up, we have the Denim Trucker Jacket. Same thing as all the other denim pieces. The spell out colorway is the one to go after. XL, XXL sizes of this jacket are going to probably go to the moon as far as resale goes. But based on their price points, I still like the pants a little bit better than the jacket as far as reselling goes. And I think that you'll have a better chance of picking up the pants, as the jacket is hyped out all beyond recognition right now. And all things aside, the jacket is definitely a cooler item than the pants to have, and I do expect the jacket to do just fine on the resale market as well. You're gonna overall make more money back with the jacket, but I think the pants are going to be a little more profitable, if that makes any sense. Do not make the mistake of picking up the black colorway or the teal colorway with the hopes of reselling, because I do not expect them to do anywhere near as good as the colorway with the spell out all over it. This is one of those situations where colorway makes a huge difference. But at the end of the day, no brainer, this jacket's gonna do really well. And this is another one, if I was going for it myself, I would run a slot with Re-Up23 in the ACO channel, in the Fauntleroy's Finest Discord, to make sure that I had the best chance of picking them up.
Tell them to bring me my money.
And finally, the number one item of the week, the coolest lamp this side of the Mississippi. The Supreme Tucan Lamp. Now, the original version of this lamp is one of the most sought-after lamps that came out in the 60s and 70s time period. The original versions of these lamps can sell for upwards of $500 to $700 on eBay and other places like that. So I do think that folks have their radar on Tucan lamps, are going to focus in on this and pick it up. $228 is a lot of money for a lamp, but not when you're looking at $700 for something that's basically the same thing. I have to imagine that these are going to be extremely rare. I feel like this is one of those items that's a complete coin flip and would only depend on how many items were made, but due to the popularity of the item, and it's still number one item on this list, when we have a lot of hype things coming out this week, I feel pretty confident saying it should flip, and you could get some first day sales close to the 400 range, maybe 350, 400. But if for some reason they don't sell out or they just made too many of them, I think that's out the window. And you could be lucky to even get retail back out of it. That's kind of the rub with Supreme and some of these unique items. All that said though, if I picked this up, I'd feel pretty safe and pretty good about doing so.
I love lamp. I love lamp.
Alright guys, there you go, week 15 in the books. What are you grabbing this week? Are you going after any of that denim stuff? Anyone picking up that Tucan Lamp? And which one of you big ballers is going to grab that tent this week? It should go great with your Supreme fishing pole, Coleman grill, and sleeping bag. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about this week.
It's nice.
Thank you guys for joining me. And if for some reason this video didn't give you the fill of Fauntleroy you need in your life today, well, you should check out these videos right here.
I'm better than all of you fucking little twerps put together, but I'm not trying to be controversial. I'd rather talk about shit with the purpose that matters.